It's time to do another session with the boy, and I'm going to start with haltering him, leading around a little bit, and then possibly seeing if we can get him to give to pressure a little bit more. I would love to be able to hose him down today. I think that really helps with touch happening in more parts of the body, even though he's pretty good with the stick touching anywhere in the rope. It's mainly my body position being further back on him. He's kind of stuck with me going past his front of his face and his cheek. Hi. You know what we're doing. Yeah. Good boy. It's pretty cool to see the softness come over his body. He just needs to get that first touch on the head out of the way. It seems like every time right now, but I can't complain because I'm able to approach him pretty fast still. Good boy. He just needs that contact to be made, and then he can start to let his guard down again. The reason that I unhalter every single time that I'm done working with him, or at least my last session of the day, I don't let him keep the halter on overnight. One, he's already let himself into the round pen a couple of times by, I think, rolling into the fence, which is a little bit annoying. And then the gate comes undone and he just walks in and lets himself in there and walks around, which is all good. But I worry if he rolls outside of the pen, it won't be all good and fun and dandy. So I like to keep the halter off for the sake that he then won't be getting caught on things, which is nice. And also all it is just more haltering practice every time I come in here. Good boy. Big brave man. Like, that's pretty fast. I'm pretty happy with that. And the fact that he then is like, oh yeah, I can follow afterwards. Like, he thinks he has the rope on right now. Once he starts giving more to that halter pressure and understanding how to soften and wanting to connect a little more, I'll get to work pretty soon on leading by the feet with him, teaching him how to give to pressure to kind of prep for that farrier. But of course he needs to get better about me standing somewhere that's not just in front of him directly. I'll kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So even right here you can see the blocking is happening. So I'm going to reach my arm down first, pet his neck, and remind him that we can touch this area of the body. So now I'm kind of able to be more at his cheek. Good boy. But you'll notice when he turns his head away and gets a little bit more straight, that's when he gets more nervous about where I'm at. Good boy. Good boy. So again, he's allowed to leave. I don't want him to feel like he's like confined and has to be right next to me the whole time. But we do need to start working on being able to touch that cheek area. Well, not touch the cheek, but stand further back, like on his side. Good boy. And have him keep his nose straight and not try to block me out. Good. So that was nice. He turned his head away and then was able to kind of recollect his thoughts there. And depending how much progress we can make with this today, I might put the lead rope on to help him out. So like right there, I can tip his nose back to me. Good boy. Good, and I think I am going to help him out with that lead rope. The leading's pretty good with him, but we obviously need work on different things happening. You know, if I move my body, if something in the distance moves. So in this situation, I want to have it so if he moves super far away, I'm still going to be able to have that rope on him, even if it ends up wrapping over his back or around him. Good boy. Good, so that's a little bit of a new area further down on the shoulder. I think he's gonna have dapples. He kind of looks like a kid that might have some dapples eventually. Good, so that's him wanting to leave, but then kind of second guessing it and thinking a little bit more. So I will release for that. Good boy. So you don't like under the neck. Let's work on that a little bit. Good, good decisions made. So that's just a little bit of that caution danger zone where he could very easily turn that hind end towards me. Another good reason to have a rope on. It's because he does at least give some to pressure. Good boy. Yeah, that's quite smart. So all this is just him blocking and being a little bit nervous about where I stand in correlation to him. Good, that was brave. Good boy. So that's another good thing to watch is when something approaches more from that low angle, that's where he's super bothered. And especially when I kind of press back into him to say like, hey, you can't block me, keep your head straight. That makes him a little bit more cautious too. Good. So what I do is I kind of press back and I wait for him to settle where he's at. And then when he gets a little more comfortable there, then I'll keep working on moving further back. Good. Again, that is why that long rope is a little bit more important there. And before I do anything, I'm always gonna recollect and make sure that I am looped and not coiled, so when something like that does happen, the rope can come out of my hand. So all of that, there you go. Good boy. That pressing factor pushing into me. Good boy. Yeah. Good, and it's just another form of giving to pressure. For him, he doesn't want to open up and let me on this side. So I'm gonna compromise and say, hey, you need to keep your nose to the side, but I'm not gonna approach and go any further back until we get more comfortable with that. Good boy, there you go. So now I can start working my way back again, asking him to keep his head straight forward. Good boy. So a little bit of desensitizing now with my arms lifting up. So until he wants to settle a little bit more, get not only less antsy, but a little more relaxed in his body, not block me out, a few different things I'm looking for here, I won't release my arm. Good boy. Good boy. And then I'm going to switch over to some rope desensitizing. Good boy. So for this, just kind of softly tossing that rope at them. Good boy. Now if I have one that likes to move a lot, I might do some of the snaking technique, which would be tossing that rope all the way over and then kind of using it to touch more on his back. But for him, it's more the motion of it going over than anything. Good boy. So then we do this little giving to the rope technique, which is going to be getting it around that booty. And one, it creates a little bit of desensitizing, but also I want him to give with his nose to it. So make sure when you're doing this, you can have give in your hand, or you've got some gloves on. So the goal is for him to follow that rope around and turn away, which is a big ask for him. Good boy. Since he doesn't love to put me in that blind spot, good boy, walk up. Good, so I want to make sure I stay at a far enough distance from him where he can feel comfortable and safe doing that. Also, he's kicking at the rope right now, so I don't want to be very close by for something like that. Kind of let him figure that out a little bit more on his own. Good boy. Good boy. So all it is you need to have one desensitized enough to toss this rope over their head and have them walk around the other way. Now after I do this side one more time, I'm going to do his other side, and unless there's anything uber exciting, I'm going to leave that part out. That way you guys don't have to watch a 40-minute long video. Good boy. Thinking it through. You smart kid.